Konnichiwa, friends. I am Sekai X Arts and Animations, and it's been a while. Months, actually. Wow. And you might ask me, why? Well, it's because I've been working on something big, chasing my dream. And as I've been figuring everything out, pretty much through trial and error, I hope you'll come along with me and learn right beside me. So, buckle up, everyone. This is gonna be kind of a long video. So I guess I should start from the very beginning. For as long as I can remember, I've been a really ambitious person. The very first quote-unquote job that I ever wanted to have was to be a princess, and after that I wanted to be a fashion designer, and then a molecular biologist, and then because of some aptitude tests I took, did you guys have to take those too? I wanted to be an aerospace engineer, and then a nuclear engineer, and most recently a holistic doctor. But just as long as I've had ambitions, I've been making stories. And I don't even know if saying writing stories is the right term, because it feels more like creating universes, despite how dramatic and epic that sounds. I have characters I consider close friends and family, and universes and worlds that feel like home to me, and I am never, never not thinking about one story or another. If you know me in real life, I'm almost always in motion. I run everywhere. I have to take breaks throughout the day just to jog in circles in my basement because the universes in my head are running wild, which makes me want to run too. And these places and people feel so real that sometimes I feel like I've been with people even if I haven't. Other hard introverts will understand that feeling. And just as these have been cultivating and living rent-free in my brain, I've realized that not only is this what I really, really want, it feels like my purpose. I've prayed about it a lot, and I don't think God would give me these stories for no reason. I believe He gave me this gift to share something, to help people see beauty and goodness even in pain, and that's what I want to do through storytelling. It's my dream, taking these realities I've come up with and sharing them with you. So that's how we got here. I've noticed, as I'm sure many of you have, that the animation industry is kind of a wreck right now. I mean, when was the last time you saw a really good original movie? Maybe it wasn't that long ago, but for me, I feel like I'm buried in half-baked money grabs and propaganda-stuffed remakes. And I feel like I'm not alone. Everyone else seems to be really hungry for new original content made with passion, not money-making in mind. And that's where I come in. The name I've chosen for this channel, Sekai X Arts and Animations, which means something akin to the world in art and animation, comes from the entertainment company I want to own. I have 50 plus stories and universes brewing in my head, all of which I am so excited and passionate about. I'll explain them a little more in depth in a minute. I want to write beautiful stories with beautiful visuals to teach the world beautiful things. I have seen that in most modern movies coming out, they either aren't teaching people good life lessons, or are just brain rot, or are just teaching things on a surface level. For example, Disney's main formula is friendship and love solve every problem. But in life, real life, sometimes we need more than to just believe in love. Sometimes it's a lot harder to believe than that. And at that point, at that valley that I think probably a lot of people find themselves stuck in right now, that is where I want to reach out to people. I want to teach people things that are just as important as love and friendship, but might be harder to learn. For example, if your kindness is only ever abused, how do you choose to be kind anyway? If someone took advantage of your trust, how do you learn to trust again? How do you learn to forgive yourself for something that was never your fault in the first place? The mission statement of Sekai X Arts and Animations as a company is to provide the world with stories that have meaning, inspiring them to think upon what is good, true, beautiful, and profound, turning their thoughts towards God by showing His virtues and truths in a medium that compels people to listen. Not every story will be religious, but many will reflect Christian values through storytelling that respects all backgrounds. I just personally believe the Bible to have the gold standard of morals, so that's what I'm going to follow. As for the whole entertainment company dream, despite my very limited resources, I believe that I'm sitting in a really unique pocket of opportunity. Titans in the animation industry like Disney and DreamWorks are caught in a downward spiral, creating a window of opportunity for new independent creators. Plus, with the rise of social media, that allows for small businesses, small groups, and even singular people like myself to get their stories in front of an audience. My dream world where everything works out perfect, in it, I would own a company just as big as Disney. I would be mostly doing the managing of projects, writing the big picture ideas for the stories, and doing at least the first draft of the character designing, since character design is my passion. In this perfect scenario, I have most of my stories produced or in production, and the medium of these stories ranges from books to TV shows to comics and movies and manga and even to video games. It would be tough, but my ideal day would be jam-packed. I approve the final script for a movie, give my team of character designers and animators the first pass of the main character for the show we're working on, check on the first print of our newest book, and then head straight to a developer livestream for the newest patch of the game we just dropped, seeing what everyone is and isn't excited about. I would really want to be a personal CEO, as I find interacting with the fanbase and making you all excited about the same stories I've spent years being excited about one of the most fulfilling things I daydream about at my kitchen table. Even more, I would love to give more independent creators and animators a caring company to give their characters, who if they're anything like me, are more like their children, to, so that we can make something beautiful together. Also, if we're just going full-on delusional mode, I would love to own my own amusement park like Disney World, hopefully making it more affordable if I can, just because I want as many people to be able to come as possible. And one of the things that I'm most excited about in this park, which I have now named Sekai, meaning another world, is a few times a year people can buy tickets to come to balls hosted at the theme park. I love dressing up and think it's a shame that we don't have more opportunities to do so I would love to have balls in the equivalent of Isekai's Cinderella Castle a couple times a year for things like Christmas or Halloween that people can buy tickets for. Also, in this imaginary perfect world, I'd have a boutique of high-quality princess dresses and prince suits for people to buy or rent, because, like, Disney, even though I'm a quote-unquote adult, I still want to dress up. So that dream, the one where I have a giant team of animators and 1,000 projects and 1,000,000 fans and my own amusement park, how do I get there from where I'm at, which is, eating potato chips at my kitchen table while writing scripts for a comic I haven't even started drawing yet. As I mentioned above, I have 50 plus stories, and even though I'm only 18, I feel like my life is almost over, like I'm running out of time. And I know I'm not that old, but I still want to get all these stories out as fast as I can. But therein lies the rub. I am only one person. And that one person is a broke college student who spent her summer savings buying an XP pen tablet that's too big to fit on her desk. So how do I get from here to my perfect little busy world? Well, it kind of starts right here. To have a fan base who I can make movies for and who will pay me to make those movies, I have to build that fan base. That symbiotic relationship has to be made and nurtured. And that's one of the reasons I feel so bad for having been away for so long. I abandoned my people. And maybe calling you guys that is a little big-headed. I'm sure I'm not the only YouTuber you watch, and I'm almost certainly not your favorite. But you guys, my 179 subscribers as of writing this script, you are who I'm doing this for. You've been here before liking me is cool or popular or whatever. So after all that, here's my plan. I'm not rich. I live in my parents' house, eating ramen, sinking in a pool of student debt after just my first year of college. Yay! But this passion, this ambition that I can't stop thinking about, that gnaws at me daily, I want more than anything to give it the limelight and time it deserves. So I finally decided, I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to build an audience and try to build a company just to see where it goes. Because maybe becoming the next Disney is impossible. But to me, if you want to do the impossible, you have to believe that it's possible. I can't remember who said it, but there's a quote that goes something like, "Those who change the world are those who are crazy enough to think they can actually do it." And that's what I want to do. Change the world. So phase 1. I have a bunch of stories. Like a bunch. My father and I counted it while we were making the project plan, and we calculated I had at least 50. obviously I have to pick one to start with. My two video games, The Quantum Zone and Minimal Genesis, the names are in workshop mode, I promise. As much as I love those, they're probably not the most feasible. And books are great. I've talked about Stella Arcana on this channel before. Also, you guys were really excited about that, which makes me both very happy and very hopeful. It's like my holy grail of stories. But it's really long. I'm talking an epic with 7 main books, a spin-off series, and 4 prequels. Can you tell I really like this story? There are other books I have, but as an entertainment company, I want to do something visual, which leaves me with my comic ideas, which one day, when I have a small team, I'd love to turn into animated shows or movies. And out of these, I have 2 that don't have a set end. Starblade Arena, which is like a mix of Beyblade Burst and Pokemon, but for older kids/adults, and Soulise, which is the one I decided to go with. Soulise is my Magical Girl series, inspired largely by Precure and Madoka Magica. Every season, like Precure, follows a different group of magical girls within the same universe, and each has a different theme. They do mostly hand-to-hand martial arts, but of course they have the shiny magical girl attacks that are a staple to the genre. And it's like Madoka in that it covers some heavy topics. In general, it kind of just encompasses the spirit of what I want Sekai X Arts and Animations to be as a company. Beautiful visually, with strong themes and hard-learned but important messages. I have about 20 season ideas for Soulise, the first of which, and the one I'm currently working on, being Shuffle Soulise. Without spoiling too much of it, Shuffle Soulise follows Monica, who becomes Soul Club, who, just for a fun fact, I made green since there's a distinct lack of green in the magical girl genre. Her and the rest of the Shuffle Soulise, along with their mentor known as the Angel, each follows the theme of card suits, fighting against druids, a failed alien experiment capable of taking on the abilities and appearance of anything they choose. The themes are mainly how different people cope with trauma and grief, how to deal with betrayal of trust and guilt, how imperfect a hero can be before they aren't a hero anymore, and how to have hope in the face of what seems to be certain despair. At first, I wanted this to be a fully colored, illustrated comic, but as just one person, that's pretty impossible. So here's the plan. Once I get the whole thing written and revised, I'll draw as much as I can in a week, and then release whatever I have on websites like Tapas or other free places. In addition, as I'm working on this project, I'll update you guys here on my YouTube channel with little videos about how I made X character design, or my process on drawing comic pages. And maybe, if I get enough support, I can even release a dub of the comic on my YouTube channel as well. All in all, I just want to use my channel to help spread awareness for my little one-man company, and I also want to help you guys get excited about what I'm excited about. And as I'm going through this process, I've been thinking, I could be making someone's favorite show. Just maybe. And even if only one person in the world really liked my stories, that's good enough for me. Just one person's happiness. I know some people might say that I'm dreaming too big, but here's the thing. I choose to dream big. My philosophy is that if you dream big, you'll hit the smaller goals along the way. And maybe even a little more. But if you dream small, you only ever reach those small things. So I dream big, and I try to stay grateful for whatever comes out of it. Because whether I reach the top or not, along the way, I'll still be creating and learning and meeting people who care about the same things that I do, and that makes the journey worth it. My plan isn't perfect. My execution will probably be even less so. But more than anything, I want to try. I've been seeing a lot of original content from indie companies lately, which has really been inspiring me to give it a shot. And as I said, I'll hopefully be releasing more content about Shuffle Soulise and my other projects on this channel, asking and answering questions and guiding you guys along as I go throughout this journey. I have always said that I don't want my failure to be due to lack of effort. So here I am, giving it my best shot. If you are or know any small creatives who would be interested in working on projects, please reach out to me. I'm not able to pay anyone yet, unfortunately, but from what I've seen, there are some really small teams out there who probably couldn't have done anything alone, but by combining their passions, even with little to no money, they were able to do something together that they never could have done alone. but even if you can't support me in that way, I totally understand. Just watching and commenting on my videos, and eventually when I have enough content, maybe considering donating to my Patreon is enough. Having people watching me and cheering me on throughout this process means more to me than I can ever express. And one day soon, I'll have a link to the very first page of Shuffle Soulise in my channel bio. So thank you for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing if you want to watch me throughout this process. Let's all dream big together. Bye-bye.